Hi again. It was very interesting conversation for me, and I believe that Monica and her husband shared a lot of valuable and important tips about health system, about overall living condition in a city. And I get another question now, Monica and Richard. What you would tell about cultural life in a city? What's going on in Querétaro? How it's different comparing with other Mexican cities, which rich in culture and tradition? What about Querétaro?
Very active. It's a very active. We have a very active cultural life. A lot of we have museums in downtown where there's a lot of activities, constant activities. There are all kinds of classes for people that wants to learn different things. I remember when we first moved, my little one took a workshop about learning how to make chocolate. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can learn. Querétaro has their own philharmonic orchestra, and they play every Thursday at the Civic Center.
Okay.
And so they're a really good orchestra. We also have different festivals along the year for cultural festivals, jazz, also international movies, all kinds of activities. It just, as you know, during the pandemic, everything stopped and just very slowly started going back to normal. So in the last 2 years, a lot of expats that moved haven't had the chance to experience all those activities that we usually had scheduled, but now it's going back to normal.
Last October, when I visited Querétaro, I've seen dance on the square. I don't remember the name of in downtown, but people were dancing, and I even was recording it. It was so lovely.
The Plaza Cenea. In Plaza Cenea, every Sunday there's a band playing, and people gather there to dance.
Very nice, very nice. I know about rich cuisine life, about many festivals. I know you have, I believe, even ballet school and ballet theater, correct? And international festivals and very culturally rich city, and even some exhibitions coming to Querétaro and might be skipping Mexico City. It's what I was told, at least, about special place of Querétaro in this regard.
There's downtowns, several places where they do art exhibitions, local artists or artists from different countries, Mexico City, where they display the art, and you just walk in and take a look at the rooms you want to look at, any exhibition you want to look at. And they're always changing. It isn't something that's going to stay there for more than a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Which is really nice. And the access is really easy. It's not like you have to fight to get in, or
no.
A lot of traffic. They keep it open from early in the morning till late at night. So you can pick a time to go walk through. They also have a lot of acting classes.
Mm-hmm. What classes?
Acting.
Acting classes, wonderful. It's what I like personally.
They do.
English speaking?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, I would like to start one.
What's that?
Oh, good idea.
Acting, English speaking acting, not yet.
So that's one thing I think the Mexican government, or the state government, city government, they put a lot of money into these classes for people to take. They're like, I don't know, cost you 500 pesos to go for 6 months. So you're talking about $20, $25 for 6 months of class. And the
Excellent.
government's pretty much
Educational
funding it.
opportunities and adult education and children education. So share a little bit about education for children. I know you have children. So
But before we tell you about it, I just remember that if you're older than 60 years old with a residency, then you can apply for a senior card. And that senior card allows you to have discounts for many cultural events that are subsidized by the state. So if you want to go to watch a performance, a concert that is being presented by the cultural institution of the state, then you can actually have a 50% off with that senior card.
Good tip, important.
And it works for many services, even to pay for a bus transportation to Mexico City. You can have a discount with that senior card. And also in the aqueduct in Queretaro, they display art along the aqueduct.
Oh, you mean at night?
In the aqueduct?
Yes.
Under the arches, they display different sculptures. They constantly are exhibiting sculptures under the arches of the aqueduct.
Interesting. Okay, thanks for this tip. So coming back to educational opportunity for children, or actually education in Queretaro?
Many great universities. In fact, there is a campus here of the National University, UNAM, known as UNAM. They have a campus here. The State University has one of the best medicine faculties in Mexico. And for college, there are several private universities in Querétaro that are really good. Tecnológico de Monterrey, for example, also. And there's a lot of private schools for elementary, middle school, high school that have bilingual programs. But to be honest, you need to look into, if you're coming with children, you really need to look into, have an interview with the school to know really how they do their program, their bilingual program.
They're different. Different schools have different programs.
Yes,
because private,
bicultural or bilingual programs. While one school has a few subjects in English, other school has this system of doing half day English, half day Spanish. There are not many with that system, but there's a few that are possible.
Okay, so how your children adopted? How they feel now at school?
Okay. Well, we did our first 3 years. We used private schools here. And then after that, I started homeschooling with an American school. And the reason for doing that is it's hard for them to take a diploma from Mexico to a United States college.
Okay.
They can take their high school diploma from the United States and get into a school or college in Mexico, or they can get into a college in the United States or Canada or Western Europe.
But from whatever I've heard, like local universities are good, but why are they considering to go to US or Europe just to have more opportunities?
Well, because, for example, my son, just to give you an example, my son wanted to go back to college in the United States because once he graduates from college there, he can come back to Mexico and he will be able to apply for a job here, and his major will be recognized in Mexico. However, if he would have stayed here in Querétaro and did the nursing here or the school here and go to United States, probably they will have not recognized it the same.
He has to go back to college.
He will have to do some extra credits or start all over again. So that's why he decided he preferred to go back to college in the United States.
I understand. I know that Canada and United States make actual life for people coming with education from different countries harder, like with licensing and all this. But level of education, from whatever I know personally, in Canada and United States, are really close to, or maybe even some universities in Mexico might be on higher level, on the same level as universities in
for sure.
Yeah.
And price is even not speaking about price, like price of education is crazy, I would say, in United States and even in Canada, going up every year. So, but it's good when children have choice. And
it wasn't convincing that you have to go to Europe or the United States or Canada to go to a good college, that Mexico doesn't have it. It's just that the high school diploma from the United States is just easier to use anywhere in the world than a high school diploma from Mexico. And
no question about that. There are very good schools, at college level in Mexico.
I mean, my youngest, right now, I think he's not looking to go to a U.S. college. I would bet he'll end up in a Mexican college here.
Okay.
With a U.S. high school diploma.
There's just a few colleges that will be recognized.
If somebody's going to do homeschool, somebody's going to have to be willing, one of the two parents are going to have to be willing to spend the day at it.
Obviously, because you need kind of to be involved and supervise, depending on the child. But
right. Well, it's not just the school. Now you got to think about their social life.
Exactly. It's
right. So the sports and going out and doing things and belonging to clubs and being around other kids. Now you have to take time out to be more involved and make sure they're more involved in things like that, because they don't have any classmates to associate with. So you got to find places for them to associate with other children.
But social life in neighborhood, like, children are going together. It's not like in United States and Canada when children are mostly sitting at home. Like you have more freedom for children to get out of home, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And there's a lot of activities for after school that we can afford now here.
Yeah. The really good thing about having your children in Mexico is that you can actually afford what I couldn't afford in the United States. The youngest does horseback riding, equestrian jumping. In the United States, that would be cost prohibitive for me. That would be so expensive that I don't have that kind of money. Here, it's affordable.
Great example.
Going to his extracurriculum, he's doing, what do they call that? I'm sorry, the ambulance stuff?
The paramedics.
He's doing a paramedics course for teenagers.
Interesting. Very good.
And
very useful in life. And
there is a lot of activities for, I couldn't believe it. I mean, he practiced fencing for a few years. So there's all kinds of sports that you will think that are not available in Mexico. Of course, there's a lot of places that they're not, but in Queretaro, since we're talking about Queretaro, yes, in Queretaro they're available.
But there's just numerous activities for kids from 3 years old to 18 to do all the sports activities you can imagine. American football, regular football, soccer, tennis, anything you can imagine for a sport is here.
Excellent. Thank you. And what you would tell about the safety situation in Querétaro? People outside of Mexico have a lot of bias, I would say, asking me about crime in Mexico. And I would like you, as the people living in Queretaro, to touch this side of life in Mexico, and in particular in Queretaro.
There's less crime here than there was in San Jose, California. I feel more secure. I've left my house. I mean, during the day here, I can leave and go down to the store for a half hour and I don't have to worry about locking my house. I would have never done that in San Jose.
Even so, okay, not locking the house.
For I'm a limited time. If I'm going to be gone for a half hour, an hour, yeah. But if I'm going to be gone longer than that, I'm going to lock my house. But nobody's going to really bother your house in an hour here. I mean, there's house robberies, there's people steal cars, there's crime here, but it's not to the same level that I've seen in San Jose.
Oh, and you're visiting often United States and California?
Well, I haven't been to California in 10 years.
Okay, so you don't.
I'm judging by the crime rate 10 years ago. And
I see. I believe, as far as I know, the crime rate is rising in United States and in California. It's not the California that you.
Right. I still have family there, and that's what they tell me. It's not what you left. It's terrible as far as crime goes.
There is crime in Querétaro, obviously, like everywhere else. I mean, there is, but it's not to the point that you can have a life without worrying about it.
Right. There's crime here. I know people that have had their houses robbed. I know people that had their cars stolen, but it's not something that I worry about. If I go to the store or I go out for the evening, it's not something that I worry about.
Yeah, like it's normal, like in every city. And like I've been a couple of times and I noticed that late in the evening, I've been only in Centro, but people are walking, people having fun, people don't feel stressed out. And I feel myself working as a woman, like foreigners, I felt very comfortable, but, I thought maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable going anywhere in this city.
It is.
And pretty much anywhere in this whole state that I've been, in the state of Querétaro, I'm pretty comfortable because there's nothing that you can see that's crime-ridden, that people have bars on their windows and alarms. And I mean, you just take the precautions like you would
in every place, in every city,
anywhere in the world. I mean, you just don't.
Of course, there are neighborhoods. There are neighborhoods that you don't want to go.
As in
every other city.
Yes.
No, but very few neighborhoods that I would say to avoid for safety reasons.
Okay, thank you. Robert, how is your Spanish actually?
My Spanish?
Yes.
Very poor.
Oops.
Why? Because you have translator nearby?
No, just
laziness. Why? Honestly, laziness. And I guess living in Querétaro, like I said, the people are nice. I go to the store. If I'm going to ask for something, I just use electronic translator, see what it is, pronounce it. The people are kind here. They'll take me to it. They know.
Oh, okay. But you need to communicate on some level. I mean, even in store, probably some basic.
Basic, but my Spanish is very basic. And I get along just fine.
Okay.
It could be better. I don't think that's something people should fear.
I'm advising everyone, and it's on my to-do list to learn Spanish and to take time and to immerse in English, in language, and culture, because actually language is the key to the culture. But it's very comfortable when it's the beginning. Newcomers can, come over with a little Spanish because it's helping to adjust.
Oh, right.
But I'm always advising to learn more about local culture, Spanish, customs, and to get more involved with the local life and to communicate with local people, because I believe that it enrich our life experience when we communicating with people from different culture. I understand your case is special. You have Monica, and
Well, he has made many attempts to learn Spanish even before we moved to Mexico. But no, it's not an easy. It's not so easy for some people, or some people it's just more difficult. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you can buy. You can you not only survive,
of course,
surviving.
He just doesn't have me. He also has the children that are fully bilingual. My two boys or two sons are fully bilingual. So when he's with one of them, they jump in, no? And so it's been not an immediate need for him to speak Spanish, but of course, it's something that he little by little he's trying to.
Okay. So, what you would advise, kind of, maybe some tips of advice I always asking for people who would considering to move to relocate to Mexico? What kind of advices you will provide to the
When they're moving?
Yes.
As hard as it may sound from my own mistakes, I would sell my cars. I would sell just about anything I owned, unless it was a really valuable possession, like had some kind of meaning to you. I wouldn't bring anything with me unless it had some sentimental value.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need anything, like, okay, some people
your clothes, maybe. I mean, bring your clothes, but I'm just furniture, your cars, it's more hassle than it's worth to try to move your things here, to try to bring your cars here. Even
from California, which is so close, actually.
Even from California, it's just, I mean, we brought our cars here, and I wouldn't do that again, just because of the nightmare of importing the cars here with the government, with the federal government.
Oh, because you need to pay taxes, not because
right. You have to pay. Well, just paying the taxes and waiting for the permits, the licensing to go through. It's just not worth the time of. I could have sold the cars and bought another one here.
And for new car, it's easy to get licensing and all this?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, we did move our furniture. We contract truck service to move all our furniture. We brought all our cars to Queretaro. And like Richard said, we don't recommend that.
Yes.
So if we will be moving to another country again or another state, we probably will sell everything and start.
I think the only things that I would have probably brought with me would have been my children's stuff, things that they were connected to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And outside of that, I wouldn't bring anything with me.
And another thing is to be prepared that things are not going to be the same as we are used to. And like we said in the beginning, to get things done is a little bit slower, takes more time, but at the end it gets done. Maybe you'll have to go through different difficulties or I don't know, different processes, but at the end you get it done and all is good.
Right. The recommendation is you're not in the United States, you're in Mexico. They're going to do business how they're going to do business. You're not going to change them. So relax. Don't worry. Everything will be okay. Mm-hmm. It gets done. business-wise here, if you have a gardener or you're going to have somebody painting, doing work for you in your house, it's customary that you give them some money to pick up the paint, for example, before they ever start. And you pay them 25 to 50% before they ever start.
Okay, you put deposit here.
It's very different from the States that you pay somebody as they progressively get done. Here, you're going to pay them part of the money before they ever start the work
Actually, I
itself.
did the same in Canada.
Which is very different.
Excuse me?
In 10 years later, I have never had a problem with them starting the work. You know, maybe they won't be there Monday like they might be there Wednesday when they said they're going to be there Monday. But like I said, don't worry, they'll get it. They'll get there and they'll get it done. You just, you know, big cultural difference there. When Americans, when we say, okay, Monday at 8:00, we get excited if you're there Monday at 9:00. Here, be happy if they're here Wednesday and start on Wednesday at 8:00.
See.
But it's not something to worry about. It's just something that it's the way it's going to be, and it's the way it works. So my advice: relax, take it easy. They'll be there. They'll get it done.
But for sure, you have a better quality of life. The food is healthier.
I agree.
And right now, after 10 years living in Queretaro, in many aspects, we don't regret being in Mexico still.
Yeah. Monica brought up the food. My oldest son, his complaint about being back in the United States is that the fruit in the United States is tasteless to him.
Even in California, which is
Even in California, it's not as fresh. I mean, look here, it's like, it's always fresh. It's fresh. It's not like all nice and pretty like the vegetables and fruit you buy in the United States. They're all nice, evenly formed, nice, shiny oranges, for example. Here, the stuff has marks in it, like it came out of my garden, but it's all fresh and the flavor's there. And
thank you for sharing these important tips.
You can't always get. I mean, you can't depend on going to the store and getting cucumbers every time you want them or tomatoes, because there's going to be days that they don't have them. So you just go without that day. But,
okay. Nobody is hungry, and I know that food is good, and people are very welcoming and kind, and I really promote above all countries I'm working. I'm promoting Mexico, and actually it's a reason I'm myself moving to Mexico, and I'm myself eventually moving to Queretaro City. Thank you very much for sharing your tips of information. Anything else you would like to tell?
Anything else?
No. Thank you for having us, because to us it's really satisfying to be able to share what other people needs to know before moving to Mexico. And we just hope that this information is helpful for them. And we're in Querétaro. If you want to give our contact information for someone that wants to reach out, it's welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Thank you for your offer. Thank you for your time. And thank you. See you later in Querétaro.
There are many reasons people choose to make the move to the destination of their dreams. Remote workers can work from anywhere with an internet connection. Today, virtually every part of the world is online. Once just the lifestyle of digital nomads, the pandemic has led millions of people to work remotely. Many are choosing to move to a foreign location. Retirees, too, discover how their nest egg can go farther when living in a location that offers a better quality of life while reducing expenses. At International Lifestyle Consultants, we have scoured the world to uncover the best foreign destinations to call home. Perhaps you dream of a pastoral life in the quaint European countrysides of Italy or Portugal. On the shores of the Black Sea, you can find luxury accommodations at a fraction of what you would pay in the United States and Canada. Enjoy a leisurely lifestyle of Caribbean or Pacific trade winds found in the beachside communities of Mexico, Central and South America. Choose from the many charming colonial towns located in the same region. Discover areas with quality access to dental and health care that have attracted many foreign travelers on a budget. We make choosing to live in your dream destination a reality. We have curated migratory, cultural, and investment opportunities that you will not find elsewhere. We know firsthand how to help you create your step-by-step relocation plan. You'll begin your journey by filling out our Know Yourself questionnaire. We can also arrange discovery tours so you can experience the culture up close and personal prior to making your move. You don't have to dream of living in an exotic location. Contact us today and make that dream a reality.